Alright guys, Fula coming to you with another video. I hope all is well with y'all. So I got some good stuff coming. You know what I mean? I got some really good things coming along, inshallah, with this channel. We're gonna have more interviews, and we're gonna have some heavy hitting interviews, meaning that I'm gonna have the likes of like some trainers on here. You know, I've been making my contacts have been made. I'm not going to give too much information out, but I did get a in contact with a member of Team Ennis, and so he let me in on the spill. And basically what it turns out is that Jaron Ennis cannot find 15 guys turned Jaron Boots Ennis down, basically. And not just like 15 like just regular guys, like not just like a 15 guys who are just fighting for like a paycheck. Not those type of guys. They basically 15 top 10 guys turned them down, you know. And I don't know, like, you know, people are going to call me a fanboy of Ennis. People call me a fanboy of Devin, Haney. People call me a fanboy of Demetrius Andrade. People call me a fanboy of David Burrell. People call me a fanboy of Batervia. People call me a fanboy of Bibble. Like, people call me a fanboy of all these fighters because I respect their skill set. And I respect what they bring to the game. You know what I mean? Which is okay. I'm fine with that. You know, you can call me a fanboy all you want, but, you know, at least I don't worship another man like you guys based on his nationality. You know, people also call me an Erickson Lubin fanboy as well, just because I respect their skill set and what they bring to the table. And as I said, I don't give a crap. You know what I mean? Because I know what time it is with these guys. I know what these guys bring to the table. I know what I see. And I know that basically, if the test were to come upon them, I think they will pass the test. If we just go by that right now. So what I would suggest to Boots Ennis, this is honestly what I would suggest to Boots. Boots should just fight anybody right now, okay? It doesn't have to be a top 10 guy. Just stay busy, okay? Who cares what these fans say? Who cares what these critics say, okay? Who cares what they say? Just stay busy. Although he's not at the top of his powers yet, I would say that he's basically only at 30% of his abilities. He should just stay busy. You know, that would be the best thing for him. So if I were him, I would just fight a nobody right now. If you can't get the fight that you want, which is a top 10 guy, I know his dad, shout out to Boozy Ennis, he wants a top 10 guy. And you know, you just can't get a top 10 guy. So you just gotta fight somebody. That's what I would do if I were him in his scenario. Because, or the other scenario he has, since he's already a big welterweight, but he has no problem making 147 at all. You know, you got to understand something. He's only 24 years old, so his metabolism is like through the Richter scale, basically. So the weight is not an issue. So what I would do if I were him, okay, is I would actually maybe take a fight at 154 or take a fight at 160 just to stay busy. And then if the opportunity presents itself to go back down to 147, just go back down to 147 and get the title shot. Because some fighters do that. Some fighters, like, they'll fight at one weight and then they will, you know, regress and then fight at their natural weight or the weight that they've been fighting at. Some fighters actually entertain that. You know what I mean? So that's what I would do if I were Boots Ennis, you know what I mean? And inshallah, what's going to happen is I am going to have a member of Team Ennis from his gym on this channel later on this week, inshallah. I'm going to try my best to make that happen. I'm in contact with him on the DM. It's just that we haven't found like time to, you know, chop it up because he's getting ready for a fight as well. Believe it or not, Ennis has a lot of fighters in the stable. He has a lot of guys in the stable. You know, he's an underrated trainer. There's a difference between pad man and yes men, and there's a difference between actual boxing trainers. When you look at like someone like Ennis, when you look at someone like Kevin Cunningham, when you look at someone like Ismail Salas, when you look at someone such as Paul Andre, those are trainers. Those are the old school trainers who go by the fundamentals and everything. And so that's why they produce the results they produce. For example, Ismail Salas was in the corner of Louis de Cubas, who beat Jarrett Hurd, right? And then, you know, you have Robeisy Ramirez under Ismail Salas, who's doing his thing too. You know, I rate Robeisy Ramirez very highly. He's just quiet coming up, but he's definitely going to be a threat. So that's what I would do. Now, in terms of Devin Haney, he's a champion. He has a belt. It's official. Rolly has ducked it. Okay, Rolly has said he's irrelevant. Rolly has said he's a bum. Rolly has said that he is chinny and things like that. The thing is this. I noticed something about a lot of these boxing fans too. I noticed one thing about these boxing fans. I noticed a certain thing about a certain demographic of boxing fans. They say that, oh, you know, this fighter's chinny. Oh, this fighter did the stanky legs after the other fight. Oh, this fighter doesn't have no power. This fighter doesn't. The other fighter beat him more convincingly or stopped him easier and things like that. I noticed something though. They never mention their favorite fighter fighting Devin Haney. They always give excuses for his fighter not to fight Devin Haney. And they contradict themselves by saying Devin Haney is chinny, but at the same time, they say that Devin Haney is, that their dude doesn't need to fight Devin Haney. You know, they say their dude, okay, although Devin Haney is a champion, they throw the email champion out there. So what they say is that Devin Haney is just the email champion. He doesn't need, and his guy who doesn't have a belt doesn't need to fight Devin Haney. So if I were Devin Haney, I would do one or two things. Okay, I would do one or two things. Since I know Devin Haney is ambitious, he's a gym rat. He stays in the gym. He's always working on his craft, always doing something in regards to boxing. Although you would think by his social media he's into other things, which he is to a certain extent, but nothing overrules the boxing aspect of what he brings. So if I were Devin Haney, this is what I would do. I would call all their bluffs. I would call every single last one of them bluffs. What I would do is I would play Russian roulette with all them cowards. I would vacate my WBC belt, let one of them fight, let two of them fight for that WBC belt, and then he gets the win. It's like, okay, I got next then. I want the winner. Because chances are if he vacates the belt, he'll be, I think it can work in a way that he'll be next in line to fight for the belt again. That's what I would do if I were him. I would call their bluffs. I would say, okay, guess what? I'm going to vacate my belt. I'm going to let y'all fight. And then I'm going to fight one of y'all for the belt. Okay? That's what I would do. And people want to say, especially the Lomachenko fans, want to say that Lomachenko ducked, or Devin Haney ducked Lomachenko. How can you duck someone if you were challenging him for a belt and then he gives you the belt? How is that ducking? Like, please make it make sense. Please make it make sense. Because it surely doesn't. That's like me saying, that's like me saying basically, what's a good comparison I can use? That's like me saying that I'm gonna sign up for war. You know, I'm gonna sign up to be on the front line, right? I volunteer myself to sign up to be on the front line, and basically, instead of me being on the front line, the people say, the enemy says, nah, you know, we don't want you on the front line. What we'll do instead is give you a pension so you can stay away from the front line. Like, please make it make sense. Because you guys don't make any sense at all. Okay? And I don't know at this point. So that's one scenario for Devin Haney, in my opinion. That is one scenario. Or there's an even more ambitious scenario that I think Devin Haney should do. And I think this guy would be willing to fight him. I honestly think this guy would be willing to fight. The journey may be a little bit longer, but I think, and as a matter of fact, it may be a little bit more productive and it may be a little bit more active for him. Devin Haney can go move up to 140, right? He can maybe have 2 fights at 140, which I'm pretty sure he will get fights at 140 because people would be of the impression that his power will be even weaker at 140, at 140 pounds. And they'll be like, okay, this guy can't crack an egg, easy money, let's fight him. Granted, he's successful at the fights at 140, right? If Josh Taylor is successful against his mandatory, he has a mandatory, those two can meet. A Devin Haney and a Josh Taylor fight. Josh Taylor will fight Devin Haney, okay? He definitely will fight Devin Haney because he's undisputed. He would be thinking that, okay, this guy's coming into my territory. How dare he? He's a 135-pounder. He don't got no power. I own this division. I work my way up in this division. So why don't I'm not going to let him take what's mine. Whereas you'll have the Devin Haney hungry, wanting to prove himself. And I think that fight could be made. I don't know if Josh Taylor is with Top Rank or if he is with Eddie Hearn. I don't know who this promoter is, really. I don't know the specifics. But I say that's a fight that could be made. And it would be a fight that makes more sense than the Terence Crawford fight because Terence Crawford has already been undisputed at 140 pounds. You know what I mean? So this is my suggestion to them, bro. Because they seem to not be able to get any fights. Like, because Boots was supposed to fight in September. I don't think that's happening. He's staying in shape, though. I mean, still doing his thing, staying in the gym. But I don't know if those fights happen in September, though. That's the problem. I don't know if he's getting a fight in September because I think he was supposed to fight a Chad dude. I don't know his name exactly, like Chad Dawson or something. And then he turned down the fight. So, yeah, at this point, I think that's what he should do. Just to stay busy. And who cares about the criticism of these fans? Because I'm going to just tell you straight up. I'm going to just tell you straight up where the criticism comes from. I'm going to tell you where the criticism comes from, straight the hell up. The criticism comes from the fans who happen to not be of his complexion, who will nitpick at him for anything he does. There's nothing that these fighters can do that will make him happy. That's just the reality that we live in this crazy boxing world, okay? So, for example, Jaron Ennis, maybe he fights a lower level guy. Devin Haney, maybe he fights a guy who's way past his prime. Oh, he's fighting this guy. Oh, he ain't fighting nobody. Oh, he fought such and such leftovers. Oh, he fought over the hill, this, that, and the other. But when Ryan Garcia fights an unranked guy, or when, like, let's just say, a Virgil Ortiz fights Terrence Crawford leftovers, but beats him in more impressive fashion, salute to him for doing so. Then it becomes, oh, this guy's a champion. Oh, this guy is this, that, and the other. Oh, yeah. So, you know, we know what time it is. And, you know, this is the thing. I'm going to end on this note. I would respect them if they came on this page and actually said how they really feel, instead of just tap dancing around it. Say how you really feel, and I would really respect you a lot more. But when you say one thing and then you say, oh, it's not about his complexion. Oh, it's just about who he's fighting and stuff like that. You don't have that same energy for the other fighters. So please stop it and just be honest with yourself and be honest with me. I hate people who do that shit. Trust me, I really hate. I don't come from that. You know where I come from? If you have something on your chest, you get it off your chest. And if what you have off your chest means you go to the back of the buildings and you handle it, you go to the back of the buildings and you handle that crap. But you tell, like, for example, if you have I'll give you a perfect story. Like, there was like one homie, like, he did some like salty stuff. And I'm like, yo, nigga, like, why'd you do that? Like, that ain't cool, homie. Like, how you did that? Like, that could have got us smacked. You know, I'm like, nah, man, I'm not cool with that. So let's run it in the back of the building. We did it. We ran the fade. And I said, okay, bro, no love lost, man. No love lost. I hope you understand where I'm coming from now. That's how we did things. Okay? Although I'm a young nigga, I've seen a lot. But when you boxing fans, like, just do these kind of, like, goofy ass shits, like, it really, like, gets on my damn nerves. You know? Like, you guys don't, I don't know, bro. I really don't know. It's like goofy. Y'all really on some goofy time. But anyhow, man, that's all I really wanted to say about the whole situation. So, in the nutshell, I think Jaron Ennis, he should just take a stay busy fight. Whoever he fights, he just got to stay active. Make sure the levers are working with him. And Devin Haney, I mean, I think he should just jump to 140 or vacate the belt. Let them fight for the belt and then fight them for the belt. Just play Russian roulette with him. I think that's his best bet, man. But anyhow, man, that's all I got for now. Leave your thoughts and leave your comments. Fool is signing out. And Jaron.